Welcome to everybody to our T3 training. We're pretty excited. Today's training is about the Alice's Integrity Loan Fund, and our presenter today is Dorris Miller, who is the loan fund manager for the Lincoln metro area, and she'll be telling us a little bit about this opportunity. Dorris, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Heidi.
Thank you for being here today.
Oh, you're welcome. Hi, everyone. I'm Dorris Miller. I'm with Community Development Resources. We are on the 5th floor of the SCC Entrepreneurship Center building in Lincoln. I guess what I thought I'd do is tell you a little bit about who Alice is, how the fund came about, who's eligible to use it, what kind of terms there are. So if you have a question or a comment, we'll have time at the end probably to cover all of those things. Alice Dittman was a very successful banker here in Lincoln, Nebraska. She's the former CEO and president and chairperson of the board for Cornhusker Bank. And it's kind of interesting that things come full circle because my father was a banker, and he came home from a meeting and he had met Alice and was tremendously impressed by her, and actually had told me a little bit about her, and that was when I was just a kid even. So I am really thrilled to be able to work with her loan fund. Anyway, Alice has always been very community-minded, has given back to the community in many ways, many different programs, but she's always been interested in the entrepreneurs. And one of the things when you're a bank is you have rules that you have to live by, and those rules are established by governmental bodies, by the state, by the federal government, and you also have rules set by your board of directors. And she realized there was a group of people who needed loan funds but couldn't get them because they didn't fit into these boxes created by all the rules. So that was her impetus for starting this fund. The fund itself is handled by Lincoln Community Foundation, and loans made with these funds are made by us here at Community Development Resources and also by REAP. And we have a really active partnership with REAP, which I think is proving to be tremendously positive for everybody. When this loan program started, we could only do Lincoln, and then it almost right away expanded to in all of Lancaster County. Now, with the addition of REAP, loan funds are available in Platte, Colfax, Butler, Saunders, Seward, Cass, Otoe, Johnson, Gage, Jefferson, Saline, and of course Lancaster counties, Nebraska. Like Heidi mentioned, I do the Lincoln metropolitan area. Loans outside the Lincoln metropolitan area, if you contact me, that's fine. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to refer you over to REAP. The loans themselves are small loans. You can get 2 loans from the fund. The first loan has a maximum of $5,000. The current interest rate for loans from this plan is at 5.25%, which is a very good rate, especially when you consider the fact that these loans are unsecured. We don't require collateral. And for people who've been in the lending business, we all know that an unsecured loan is probably the riskiest type of loan. And then when you add to this the fact that the people that these funds try to target are also risky borrowers, so it's pretty cool. The loans themselves are open to anyone, but it's primarily intended to serve women and minorities who have difficulty finding money to start up or grow a business. That being said, I want to reemphasize that this is open to everybody, and we have people of many different races and nationalities and genders who have borrowed money from the fund. The second time, with a good repayment record, and once again, the inability to obtain funds anywhere else, we can do a second loan to a borrower after the first is paid off. The interest rate is also a fixed rate. That 5.25% interest is the rate for the entire life of the loan. It's not variable like most charge cards. You have to excuse me, I'm a little nervous. This is the first time I've done something like this. One of the other unique things that we have going on is with the partnership with REAP, Monica Braun, who does the virtual Women's Business Center for REAP. She also is very active in the training side of it. So Monica arranges for people to do training. We have a free training every quarter. We are hoping to add additional activities for people who have been Alice Fund borrowers or in the process of becoming a borrower. We hope to add more, but right now the plan is to have a training every quarter. So far we've had an accountant in who talked about getting your books ready for the end of the year. We had an education specialist from the Nebraska Department of Revenue talk about sales tax, and we've had an insurance agent talk about the different types of insurance, and then specifically about insurance for the business. We've had pretty good attendance. We've had 6 to 8 people at every single one of them, and they have felt like these sessions have been really worth their time. So far, they've been all here at CDR, and we try and schedule them for like 6 or 6:30 so that people have time to finish their work day and not take any time away from their business. So, does anyone have any questions or comments for me?
Doris?
Yes.
This is Lisa Karnatz, and can you hear me very well?
Oh, yes, I can. Hi, Lisa.
Okay. Hey, I have a couple questions. On the loan, what does a small business need to provide? Is there a review committee?
There is not a review committee at CDR. What I want to see is if you go to CDR's website, there's a place where we actually have the application online. Unfortunately, I haven't had time to automate it so you can fill it out online. You do need to print it out. And what you need to provide will depend on whether you're a startup or existing. What I want to see is if this is a startup, I want to see your personal tax returns for 2 years, current pay stub. I want to see a business plan, but I'm not looking for a big formal 40-page business plan like a bank would need for a larger loan amount. What I want to see is that you are planning. One of the things we see is that people who have a business plan have focused on what they want to do and where they're going to go with it, and they have a better chance of a success. So I am going to look at the business plan and see how much they've really thought about what they're going to do. For people who don't have someone to work with or don't even know how to start a business plan, I have a short-form business plan, which, yes, is the same one that REAP has because they gave it to me, that you go through and you answer the questions, and by the time you get done answering it, basically you have a business plan. And then, of course, if you have a formal legal structure for your business, I need to see your legal documents. I'd like to see a resume. For example, there was a woman, she was not one of my clients, but she was going to start a business and never had a business before, so we were a little concerned, but she had 5 years of experience working in the industry for someone else. So that's what a resume is going to tell me. If any licenses or permits are required by the state, we would like to make copies of those. if you're going to be renting space from somebody, we'd like to see the lease. And if you haven't rented it yet, we have people who can look over the lease for you, just to help you make sure you're getting as good a deal as you can from the landlord. I want to know what you're going to spend the money for. If you have a bid or a contract for purchasing equipment or services, I'd like to see that. If you already have your insurance or are looking at insurance, I wouldn't mind seeing the quotes. We do charge a non-refundable $25 application fee, and generally I don't collect that until we get to closing. So, and that's pretty much all I need. The application is going to ask all the typical things, name, address. We will pull a credit report. We do ask that the borrower use the ability to get a free credit report of their own, and we will help them do that if they need the help, but we will pull a credit report as well. That kind of answer all the questions on that one?
I have a few more.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. The second loan, is it also at $5,000?
The second loan, I can go up to $10,000.
$10,000, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And how many years can the borrower have on those?
We go out as far as 36 months, 3 years.
Okay. And I had one more. Are there papers at the Lincoln Community Foundation to pick up regarding this? What I'm going to be doing is sharing funding information at the Nebraska Tourism Conference in September.
Oh. I believe there are some. If there are not, give me a call or shoot me an email. Do you still have one of my business cards?
Me?
Or did you? Did you have one?
No, I sure don't have one.
Okay.
I will be sending your contact information out after the call, Doris, if that's okay.
That would be great. And if they don't have what you need, let me know and I can make arrangements to mail or bring them to you.
Okay.
So I have some brochures, I have some business cards. And the brochure was recently redone, and so on the brochure it also gives names and locations of all the people who work with the fund as well as my information. So.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Heidi, I feel like there was something that I needed to talk about that I have missed.
Well, we had discussed the collateral.
And I did mention that we do not require collateral for these loans.
Which is very, very unique and wonderful.
Okay. Well, there is one other item then, since there aren't any more questions on what I've covered so far. I kind of want to address credit, because a lot of the people that we help are people who have credit that, life happens. Sometimes things happen that you can't really totally control, and sometimes your credit takes a ding. So what we do differently than banks do is we're looking more heavily at a person's character. Yes, you get medical bills. Yes, you get laid off work. Things like these happen. But what we're looking for is, what is a person's character? A bankruptcy is not going to count against somebody, but when I see that somebody has recommitted and they are working to pay off, money that they owe to other people, that's a big one as far as character is concerned. Sometimes negative credit items stay on your credit report anywhere from 3 to 7 years. If I see something that's 4 or 5 years old and I see a good payment history since then, once again, that's a big thing that tells me that they have good character, that they're more likely to pay this loan off than not. The other thing that sometimes people don't think about is the capacity to repay the loan. One of the things that I do, and we try to do at CDR as well, is we look at, okay, are you going to have any income when this business starts up other than what the business will produce? What are your current bills? We're going to try and make sure that we don't get you signed up for a loan where you can't afford the payments. So if you come to me and you say, oh, I want the whole $5,000 and, I've got $3,000 of it that I need to spend right away, and then $2,000 would be for operating funds, I'm going to look and see, can you afford the payments on that $5,000? Or is there someplace, if you can't, is there someplace else we can cut back or change or that type of thing? And then I'm not going to cover all 4 C's of credit, but the last one is capital. We're also looking, if you're coming to me with a big idea and a business plan and you're not putting up any of your own funds, that kind of indicates to me that you're maybe still in the pie in the sky stage of your business. Putting money and time and effort into a business is really important. That shows us that you have made a commitment to making this work. So one of the other things that we do that's a little bit unique is, and it's right in our note, if you have a change and you're going to have an issue making a payment, or there's been a change with what's going on, get a hold of us before everything hits the fan, and we can work with you. So our whole goal is to help people build a business and help them become financially independent. When somebody graduates from the Alice program, their credit is increased. They have developed some collateral items, things like that. CDR and REAP both offer a number of other different loans and loan funds. We both offer SBA microloan funds. The rate is a little higher on those, and it varies depending on the amount of loan you take out. I can't speak for what REAP charges because I haven't looked, but there is that. And those loans, we can go out to 72 months on those now. REAP also has a couple different loan programs that we don't have, and we have a small business loan fund that we have borrowed money from banks to fund that one. So, and I've decided that these telephone calls are really hard because I can't see anybody's faces. So, does anyone have anything else? Any comments or questions or?
I was going to say that was very concise and informative.
I tried. So, if you think of something or have more questions, Heidi's going to send out my contact information. Also, besides having CDR's website with information about Alice's Integrity Loan Fund on it, there's also information on REAP's website. And also, we have an Alice Integrity Loan Fund Facebook page, and you're welcome to go to the page and like it. In addition to things that we're doing, I also try and post free or low-cost training or educational programs that have value, so I don't always post everything I hear about. Yesterday, I actually posted about SBA in Omaha is hosting a How to Do Business with the Federal Government workshop. And it is a daytime workshop, but I'm just amazed always by all the goods and services that the federal government purchases. So if that's something that might be of interest to you, there's that information on the Alice Integrity Loan Fund Facebook page as well. So, well, that covers everything I had on my list of things to cover.
I was going to say, it sounds like we had somebody else chime in.
Okay.
No, that was just me. I lost you somewhere along the way.
Oh.
On your system, but that's all right.
Got it. All right.
come back in again. I didn't hear what the second loan amount was. Same as the first?
The second loan I can go up to 10,000.
10,000. Okay.
Yes, but we are still at the point where we only can go for a 36-month term.
Okay.
So, but I do have one borrower, and she recently took out her second loan, and she only needed $2,500, which is fine. You know, a loan doesn't have to be $5,000. It doesn't have to be $10,000. We will go as low as $1,000.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. And I'm sorry that I lost you for 2 or 3 minutes. I don't know what happened. The CDR website
The CDR website is CDR-Nebraska, all spelled out, .org.
Okay. Just wanted to confirm. I thought that was what it was, but good. Thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. And I always try and make sure that I talk about REAP via the Center for Rural Affairs, and their website is www.cfra.org/REAP, R-E-A-P. So,
do you come out as far as Adams County?
Adams County is not one of the counties where we loan at as of yet.
Okay.
But as I mentioned before, I think probably when you were off the phone, is that we have other loan funds besides the Alice Loan Fund. REAP also has several other loan funds.
Right. I'm familiar with their program. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Good.
Okay.
Good. Okay.
The Alice Fund, we're in 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We're in 12 counties, I guess.
Okay. All right.
And these are all counties where Cornhusker Bank and Alice had lending
location. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
good.
It's kind of heartwarming, or makes me feel really good that some other communities are starting to do things like this. I know in Seward County they have a similar loan fund for residents of Seward County. There's a lot of activity going on in Nebraska City and Otoe County now too. I know I used to work with one of the people who's involved with entrepreneurship out there, so it's an exciting time to have come out of the traditional retail banking world and into entrepreneurship. So,
entrepreneurship is really exciting anyway, no matter what.
Well, my husband's a small business owner, and so I've been around it for 30 plus years. So,
okay, you understand some of the goods and some of the problems, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The reason I asked about Adams County is that's where I'm located, but we Central Community College covers a number of counties, so we probably have some relationship there where we can do it. The thing that's so exciting about an Alice loan is the no collateral.
Oh, I know, and there's very few people who will do a no collateral loan, especially with a startup business.
Right.
So
we do loans from the Community College Foundation, but we look for a little bit of collateral. We're pretty easy with it, okay, and like that. But we do like to see something there.
I know with some of our other loans, we took a piano for collateral.
Oh my.
Yeah. That was pretty fun trying to put a value on a piano.
Yeah.
But we managed to do it, and those folks ended up being a big success story. They were so committed that they succeeded. I mean, there was no doubt in anyone's mind that they were going to succeed. I'm trying to think of some of the other unusual things we've taken for collateral.
Yeah. We just took a guitar and sound system, so I agree. Yeah. You have to open up your eyes and say, well, what is possible out there that's collateral? And that does two things. One is obviously it says there's collateral, but it makes the person borrowing the money. Well, you know this. It makes the person borrowing the money more responsible, I guess. That's what I think.
I know we did another loan where we took a Harley Davidson.
Oh.
And it was an anniversary edition motorcycle. So even though some of the other factors were a little shaky, we knew they were not going to let go of that motorcycle.
Right.
Right. That, the whole thing about this being an integrity loan fund is we're looking for information, whether it's in the credit report, in their application, in their resume. What is the person's character, and it's not traditional underwriting, that's for sure.
Exactly.
But I have to admit, though, that the fund itself, we've actually only, out of all the loans we've done, we've actually only had 2 people who haven't repaid.
Right.
So, and I think that's just an outstanding level. So.
Very good. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Doris.
You're welcome, Heidi.
Are there any other questions? Anybody think of anything? All right. Well, I think we'll wrap it up for the day. I'm
sorry, Heidi. If anyone thinks of anything down the road, please feel free to call me or email me.
And I will include all of your contact information in the follow-up email.
Wonderful.
If you're interested in doing this again, Doris, and anybody else on the call who's interested, we are looking for speakers for our 2016 Market Tech Conference, which will be in April 26th and 27th of 2016. So if you are interested in speaking in that, let me know, and I'll get you an application. I'd also encourage you all to sign up for our free monthly newsletter so you can get updates about that training. And if you're interested in learning more about bookkeeping tips, things that might help you when you're applying for loans like these, our next Third Thursday training in September is going to be on bookkeeping. We're having Janae Enns, who's an amazing CPA. She's the only person I know who can make balance sheets really riveting. So
I have to give her an endorsement as well. She did a training for us, and she's just outstanding. She's very special.
Oh, yes.
Besides being a really good CPA. So.
Yes. So she's helped a lot of people. And I would also, before we get off, I want to encourage all of you, if you're coming out to the Nebraska State Fair this year, GROW Nebraska is again in our same prime location in the Pinnacle Bank Expo building, and we'd love to see you there. So I think that's
we'll see you there.
Awesome. So I hope everyone has a great day. And thank you again, Doris, and thank you everyone for attending.
Right.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Have
Heidi.
a great one.
Yeah. Bye-bye. You too.
Bye-bye.